All right, if you've got some hip pain and you do a lot of stretching, a lot of piriformis stretching, the pigeon stretch, maybe some hamstring, hip, ab, or adductor stretching, and you're just not quite seeming, it doesn't quite seem to open up that hip, here's a little trick that you can try. You have a joint capsule around those joints, and sometimes that joint capsule needs to be stretched. So sometimes when you're stretching, if you're just doing some active stretching and you get into those stretches, sometimes you're kind of fighting that joint capsule a little bit and really can't get into a nice long stretch of those muscles. So here's what you can do is you can open up that hip with a little capsular, a little posterior capsular stretch. And how we do that is you're going to come on all fours, kind of in that quadruped position, and you're going to take one leg. So if I'm going to try to open up this left hip a little bit more, I'm just going to take and rotate that foot over the other leg. So from the back, it's going to look like you're here, and then you're just going to take and put it right over the back of that other leg. And then I'm going to sit diagonal about 45 degrees into that hip where I'm really pushing on that glute area of the hip, allowing the head of the femur and the trochanter to kind of push on that capsule back there and hopefully open it up a little bit. So I'm crossed over here, and I'm going to sit into that capsule just a little bit. So I'm really, and you can kind of feel that stretch, and you might need a little oscillation, a little bounce there, but really sitting deep into that stretch, okay? And then again from the other side, so we were into that left hip. If we want to go into the right hip a little bit, we'll go here, and then I'm going to push into that right hip, and I'm going about 45 degrees into that hip. So I've just crossed directly over, almost in like a figure 4 position, just behind your body, and pushing into that capsule. So you might want to try this guy, again, a little different angle. So I'm here, I'm going to throw that left foot up, and then I'm going kind of 45 into that glute. So pushing kind of down into it with that foot behind. So again, it's a good way to open up that hip, maybe allow for you to get into some more static or dynamic stretching of the hip. Once you get that capsule lubricated, warmed up, loosened up, stretched, and you kind of open that area up, then you can get a good stretch on that muscular that's attached there in the hip. So try that guy out. It's a good little hip opener. See what you think. Video will be here on Facebook, over on YouTube. Check the newsletter.